What's going on, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Trading My Funded Account. Today is day number 33. It's November the 27th, 2023. We made some trades today, so let's get into it. All right, so trade number one, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, when we opened the market at 9:30, we had a sharp move to the upside, but then we immediately gave all of that back, made a lower high right here, continued to push down with lower lows and lower highs, until eventually we established this double bottom down here at A, followed by this higher low. So that went ahead and proceeded to lead to higher low B, which is where I took trade number one. So at trade one, I went long right here at the retest of higher low B after seeing a higher low and a double bottom at A. And then this trade came back to break even. And that's okay with me. You know, sometimes when you have a good entry, that break even stop, it'll come back and get hit. And that's just something that you have to live with. I thought about getting back into this trade once again, but I just didn't like the fact that the market moved high so quick on this one wick and then came all the way back to close as a doji. You can't see it because the execution is right there, but this candle was a very long and drawn out doji. And because dojis represent indecisions, it makes me a little bit hesitant to actually go long and take the higher low setup whenever I see a doji. So that's just something to remember. You know, a doji doesn't always mean that the market won't continue up, but because it's indecision, I just choose to stay away from it. So trade one now was break even. Now we pushed back up. We eventually created this third higher low at higher low letter C. And then from that point forward, we pushed up. But what was interesting right here is the fact that we created this double top. Now this double top will come back to play a major role a little bit later when I took trade two. So on trade two, I went long here as prices came back to retest the higher low support from letter C. So I used the same strategy that I used on B, and this time I just took it back up to the top of structure. Now, I thought about holding this trade for a little bit longer, but the biggest lesson that I learned on Friday was that when it comes to the higher low, if you see any type of bearish signal that's in the immediate vicinity, you want to make sure that you either skip the higher low trade, or if you do take it, you just take that long trade back up to that level of structure wherever that bearish signal was located at. Now, in today's lesson on today's day, we saw a double top right here at D. So I was like, okay, if I took the higher low strategy and I see that the most recent bearish activity in the vicinity is a double top, as much as I want to hold it and continue to let this trade run and maybe come back up to test this level or to test this one, I just wasn't quite sure. And I'm like, okay, if my plan says to get out of the trade when you see bearish signals in the vicinity, that's exactly what I'll do. And I'm glad I made that decision because prices ran up for a little bit longer after I got out of trade two, but not too long after that, they crashed all the way back down, came back to my entry price, and then eventually, if I held on to that trade, it would have came back and stopped me out. So I feel like I made the right decision right there. I followed my trading plan, even though it was very tempting to not do so. I wanted to hold that trade really bad because, in my opinion, this was a perfect higher low setup, except for the fact that we had that double top over here in the recent vicinity. So it just made the higher low setup a little bit less lucrative. And I'm just trying to make sure that I practice that lesson. And I think I did a good job today because I had so much temptation that was pulling me the other way, making me want to go against my trading plan. But I remember all of those days from before where I went against my trading plan, and surprise, surprise, it never worked out well for me. So I said, you know what, today, even though it's temptation there, I'm going to do the right thing. And I feel like I made the right decisions today. So I'm proud about that. And that was the last trade I took today. I decided to go ahead and call it a day early because the market was really just not doing too much of anything. It would give signals here and there, which would make you think that, oh, okay, a setup is about to start forming. And then it just wouldn't have any follow through. So I said, all right, I don't want to sit here for too long because I feel like I might start trying to force trades that might not be there. So I said, all right, I'm done. And, you know, that's something important to remember because we've been trading in a little bit of a lower volatility type of environment for maybe the past week or past 2 weeks. And what I've noticed is that it's better for me to come in, look for my 1 or 2 good trades. If I can get those, I get them and I'm happy with the results. But if not, hey, I'm willing to sit here all day if I have to until I see my setup. And if I don't, I'll just call it a day and come back the next day. So I think in times of low volatility, you got to make sure that you still take your best setups and that you don't get strayed from the path that you should be following due to what the market is giving you. Because it's very easy in times like this to try and force something that's not there, or maybe take a trade just because you feel bored. But these are the days where you got to come in and just say, look, it might not be too much going on today, so I'm not trying to make $1,000 million. I'm just trying to take some good trades and stay above water. And then when better opportunity comes around, I can size up and really go at it like I want to. But on days like these, you just got to survive. And that's pretty much what I did today. And that's all I got for you guys today. You know, pretty slow day, but overall, I hope you learned a lot about I hope you learned a lot about using this higher low and making sure that if you want to hold on to the higher low, you only hold on to it when there's no bearish signs in the vicinity. But if you do have bearish activity in the immediate vicinity, you just want to take that trade and hold it back up to wherever that bearish signal was located at, and then get out and look for the next best opportunity after that. So I'll be back tomorrow on November 28th, 2023, ready to run it back again with you guys. But until then, have a good one, study hard, and take it easy.